are live. This is Rain 1701A casting an SCL Elite match tonight. We got a marquee matchup between Baywatch and Savrip, and co-casting with me is my Cavern Angels Blue teammate, Mr. Doomhite.
Hey, good evening. Yeah, Marquis is right. Two excellent teams here.
Absolutely. So you said that we got the lobby info here?
Yep, lobby is up. Everyone is in. We are ready to go. We just need. We're ready if you're ready. Let me put it that way.
I see. All right, let me get my booty in there. And is it the classic Lauren password?
It is not, I don't think. It's in the match chat.
Oh, it is not. I see. Oh no. Okay.
Rain. Sometimes the old ways are best. 1701A.
I actually... Oh, I see. Okay. I will fix this. Okay. One moment, folks. We are a bunch of professionals here. Very prepared. Right. Should be loading in now.
All right, I'm gonna. As soon as you're ready, we'll give them the all clear.
Tell them that we're ready to go. All right, looks like we're loading in here, folks.
All right, so we got Savrip, home team.
And it looks like they took Empire first, yeah? Big surprise there.
What a shocker.
Very surprised. So, no changes from last night. Now, Doom and I faced down Savrip last night. Pretty much the same lineup all season long. I don't think they've deviated from these 5 players, unless I'm mistaken. Whereas Baywatch, over on the New Republic side, roll the dice. You never know what lineup you're going to get. So, over on the New Republic side for Baywatch, we got Beach 89, Fame Plane, Jesus, Disco Dino, and Detenchi. And so, remember, we're not supposed to talk about loadouts, but Doom, what are you expecting out of this game 1? Oh, no, we should also note that this is Yavin, so I believe this is a Week 5 match? Yeah, Week 5.
Week says Week 6, so...
Week 6. So, what do you expect out of this game 1?
Yavin's always a quick farm map. It's going to be about who does the most damage. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to see a triple bomber loadout at some point from one of these teams. I mean, if you're going to pull that out, this is a strong map to do it. Honestly, one of the bigger concerns is just going to be running out of farm.
Right. I'm not going to be looking for a whole lot of PK from either one of these teams. I think to your point, it's about the damage on this map and who can get the farm the fastest, who can farm the most efficiently, who can farm forward in the danger zone to get those nice clean 5-packs as they come in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you've got too many farmers, I mean, even if you've just got more than one, I'll say, it's hard to stay left and right as how you split it up. You really have to split it up forward and back. And that comes with inherent risk.
Absolutely. Now here, launching out of hyperspace in front of the MC-75, we got Beach 89, Rando Detenchi, Rando Disco Dino, Jesus, and Fame Plane. Over on Savrip, coming out of the ISD, Quintessence, Thanatos, Zareth, Lauren, and Hale Sagan. I'm going to switch to the perspective of Fame Plane here to see if he can get his AI packs. Look like he's using the clouds for cover here.
Yeah, Thanatos is on him with that Blast Burst, getting a couple of chunks in. 2/3 gone. Pretty good evasion so far. We'll see if Than is able to close the kill here.
Yeah, or at least bottle him up so he can't get his farm in. And it looks like he's now moved on to, yeah, he's on to Tenchi now. So Tenchi looks to be pretty tight up,
yeah.
although I see him firing some lasers off. This is a right down in the middle, Doom. This could be anyone's flip. Looks like Savrip is starting to work on the Corvette now.
Quinn is hurt. Quinn's at 24.
Alright, looks like Disco Dino's on the back of Quinn. Nope, Disco Dino's on the back of Lauren.
Yeah, so is Beach. We got a double team on that bomber here.
Wow, what a tussle here. About 35 seconds left, and it's still 50-50. I mean, it hasn't moved past more than 40 or 60% for either team. So
yeah,
I think both Raiders are up here.
Yeah, we're seeing some attention paid to the Raider, but I mean, look, on Yavin, you got to be able to farm it out here. All right, we got a big swing here for the Empire.
Right, meanwhile, the Imperial Raiders down to about 40. Disco Dino's working on it, but just a little bit too late. It looks like Savrip's going to have the first attack here. I'm watching from Xerath's perspective. Looks like he's well on his way into that Nebulon to get the marks off. He's got the Nebulon targeted, and off go the marks. And he's working down the shields with the ion lasers. Going to switch to Lauren here, who's going to start establishing her orbits any second. What are you seeing, Doom?
Yeah, we've got the ions in. Thanatos is making the Plasburst orbits now in that defender.
So it looks like they're all hands on deck with the damage. Do you see any offensive PK going on? Here. Yeah, okay. So, but as I say that, I see Thanatos is bullying Jesus into Ewing, and Jesus is in a bit of trouble here. He's down to 26 on the hull. Looks like Jesus is... Yep, go ahead.
Bouncing around, he's getting the resupplies off. I mean, we're still seeing the farm come in, and there goes the Raider, and New Republic's on the attack.
They got that Nebulon down to 27%, which is pretty high for an out-of-phase, but they set themselves up well for the next phase. Pretty strong opener there from Baywatch. Going to switch over to the New Republic side. Disco Dino getting his ion missile off. Looks like he did not launch that ion torp, which is a little peculiar. Maybe he felt like he was under pressure, didn't want to do it, risk it getting shot down or something.
Yeah, Beach is got one off. Yeah, they're taking a little bit longer than you might expect to take the shields down, but they're going down right here on Delta.
I would look for Disco Dino to pop the ion torp off on Charlie there. So morale's down at about half. Beach is pumping torpedoes into it, while Disco Dino is doing his Plasburst orbits. Damage still coming in pretty fast. That cruiser's down to about 40-something% on the hull. I saw 42%. So this could get into the out-of-phase range. Another torpedo going off from Beach. Down to 27. Very strong attack here. But this pulls them about even with Baywatch. Let's see if they can make... Oh, but Beach gets dunked right here. I'm not sure who's on the back of him. I'm going to switch to the respect of the defenders. Looks like Hale Sagan's on the back of Beach. Beach is no shields, down to 50 on the hull. But there's the flip. Savrip back on the attack.
I think they thought that they had it with the Raider or with the Corvette there, and there was still a few more seconds of damage because they couldn't quite get the flip with just the Corvette.
Right. Now Savrip is now setting themselves up for a double out of phase, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing on this map, or it's easier to pull off or harder to pull off. I'm not sure, but you know, they're giving themselves some options here. Watching Thanatos do some nice, pretty Plasburst orbits around the Nebulon. Looks like Xerath managed to get his marks off yet again. Let's watch Hale Sagan. Looks like he is also pumping in damage with the standard lasers on the defender there. Firing quick locks, throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this Nebulon. It's down to 40 on the hull, but they are running out of time to get this out of phaseable.
Well, to your point earlier, I think that having that Yavin, the ability to go from one Corvette to the other makes the double, or from one frigate to the other makes the double a little bit easier here, but I don't think they got it low enough.
Huge pick by Sagan right there. Just took out the U-wing, so no marks for the New Republic side. And they just took one of the out of phases, so they're just cashing on that. Morale's just about at the 60% mark. So Baywatch has a lot of work here to do if they want to come back in this game. The Tenchi's running low on Ox. He's down to one multi-lock missile. He just fired that off, and now he is empty on his Oxes. So we got a bunch of thirsty NR fighters out here. Beach is dry on torpedoes, and Disco Dino also dry on the Ion Torp, but he's got his Plasburst cannon. But they're going to be hard-pressed to get this out of phasable, and as I say that, there's the flip.
Yeah, I mean, they kept the support out. By the time he was respawned, they had gotten the flip.
Now Baywatch is going to need a really strong defense here to keep Savrip off the MC-75. Charlie's going to fall at any second now. I'm going to switch to Xerath.
Thanatos at 5.
Oh wow, he's really low. That'll stop one of the gen runs, right? That'll stop the. Looks like he's going to be forced out, and that's going to make it a little harder to bring down the shields on the MC-75. Going to switch back to Xerath here. Xerath is marching his way in. I don't see an X-wing on him, and it looks like he's going to get these marks off Doom.
Yep, and we got a very pretty approach from Quinn, getting. Looks like they're going to get the shield gen in 2 passes there.
Right, but this is going to take another phase to take out this MC-75. But right now targeting systems being worked on. They take out targeting. That's going to really make it hard for Baywatch to take out the ISD. The morale's going to. Yep, there goes the targeting system. Yep, there's the flip. MC's down to 60 on the hull, so that's a little high for an out of phase. Baywatch has their work cut out for them. They got a full alpha cruiser to go through.
Yep.
All right, Disco Dino coming in. Going to establish his Plasburst orbits here. But if I'm Savrip, I think I'm just going to play this safe, get a lot of farm, and hit the Raider, and just let the morale work do itself.
Yeah, there's some really nice packs here. I always get jealous seeing people that are able to really glide from one to the other on, and Yavin makes it look easy. But yeah, these are quick flips, thanks to the farming of. Lauren's on the Corvette now, but Quinn's doing a lot of AI work right now.
Right, as she is well known for doing. Now Baywatch making a push here on the ISD, but they're already down to half morale.
Down. Lauren was taking some chip damage from the Corvette.
But one of the X-Wings went down as well, so that's going to make it really hard here for Baywatch to take out these gens and burn the hull and get it down to phase range. Shield's just now coming down. Power system is still up. Jesus doing yeoman's work here. Taking out the power system, disabled one of the gens. Really strong play here from Jesus.
This looks like the flip here.
Yep.
There goes the AI.
Shield gen is destroyed. What do you think Baywatch is going to do here?
Hard to say. Fame Plane is spawning. I wouldn't be surprised to see an ICT, but no, just trying to farm it out.
Yeah, that ISD is at 96%. This MC-75 is wide open. Shields are down again. Weak spots are available. It's down to 40 on the hull. Looks to me like game 1 is going to go to Savrip, who showed us last night, Doom. They have one heck of an Empire game.
Absolutely.
2%, 1%. Down goes the MC-75, and game 1 goes to Savrip.
Victory is ours. Well done, Titan.
Very strong Empire game. Win the opener. Farm out. Kill the Raider. Get a timely PK here or there. That's the formula you need for an Empire win on Yavin.
Yeah, and stopping marks. I mean, this is like we said, it's a damage race off this map more than any other.
And speaking of damage race, do you see that capship number on Lauren? 154,000. Now, granted, that is a little inflated by the Raider burns, but that is some Chad level. I mean, Ultra Chad level, Omega Chad level damage by Lauren.
Raiders are cap ships too, Rain.
Absolutely. They're not big ships, they're medium ships, but they are capital ships. Quintessence with another 80k, Hail Sagan chipping in 63k, Thanatos with 2 kills and 31k, and Xerath. No deaths in that pancake. If you want to see a tale of the game, right there. No deaths in the pancake for Xerath. Really, really well done.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing, when you play that damage race meta, keeping the support alive is critical, not for the resupplies, which you might think, but it's really for the beacons.
Now, maybe I missed it, but I don't know if I saw too many attempts by Baywatch to take out Zareth. Now, what I observed in when we were New Republic last night versus Savrip is that Zareth is really, really good with that positioning. So, the meta right now is to start the defensive phase kind of before your offensive phase is over. So you're like, where's that pancake? Let's start lining them up. Zareth is already 2,000 meters ahead of you, already on top of your Nebulons as the flip comes. So
Right.
I'm guessing that's what happened there.
Yeah, that's something we can keep an eye on in this upcoming game. But I mean, getting that positioning right, it's a little bit riskier on Yavin, but it's also, from a PK perspective. But you don't have to plan your angles. You just have to get out there and make sure you're ready for the moment you can get in safely.
Right. All right. Do we have lobby info? Not yet.
All right, it is up and it is the same password.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And we do have some subs here, at least one.
You said it's the same password?
Yeah.
Oh. I do not see it. But I will take your word for it. Is it on Disco Dino?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, we've got some a replacement rando power paladin in, and Cag Eladran.
Formerly of Cavern Angel's Gold. Alright,
We just call it Cag now, I think.
You're not wrong, you're not wrong. Alright, I gotta get to the wrong window here. Why is it not working? Yikes. Here we go.
Alright, I'm gonna let them know we are good to go.
Oh no, I got an invite to play Squadrons. Should I take that, y'all? Alright, so you can let them know that we're good to go, Doom. So yeah, I am noting, Power Paladin and Eladrin. So Eladrin is a recent pickup for them. I think he just joined the team a couple of weeks ago. And I believe he helped them knock off, I want to believe it was Aluminium Squadron. So he's a guy that I think we've seen every now and then pop in ladder, but he plays once every 2 months, but he's the kind of guy, I mean, he's so talented, he only needs a couple of games or two just to knock off that rust. And anytime I ran into him in ladder, he seemed like he was right back in his old form. I'm sure he would tell you, he has a few more levels of rust to knock off, but, look at him there wearing his old gold colors there. But that is a high caliber player right there in Eladrin, and a pretty good pickup for them.
Yeah, I think that I've been pretty surprised at how little rust there is to knock off when a player returns to Squadrons. I mean, we've seen a bunch of people that, for whatever reason, disappear for a month or so. A lot of Squadrons burns through flight sticks, as we know.
I wouldn't know anything
People
about
come
that.
back. People come back, and honestly, there's meta changes sometimes, but it's like riding a bike. I think we've seen people come back at a very high level, not having too much off of where they left.
Right, exactly. You just got to get that muscle memory back, get those rhythms back, get the timing back. It's just like playing an instrument or riding a bike. You just got to shake off the rust a little bit, and it comes right back to you. Especially with boost gasping and stuff.
The things where people really lose time is when they have to change control schemes. People who have to adjust because they're playing a different ship, or they're trying to implement drifting on a different control scheme. We've seen that cause real havoc. Even something like as a farmer, when I go to Torps, I can't tell you how many times I hit the button and I intend to do multi-locks, and I shoot a torp at a TIE fighter. I mean,
One TIE fighter with the torp.
oh, I kill it so good.
Oh, there you go. So well spent torp there. All right, and we got a Ghost Fleet apparently launching from the MC-75. But all right, launching out of hyperspace in front of the MC-75 for Savrip, Quintessence, Zareth, Lauren, Hail Sagan, and Thanatos, launching out of the Imperial Star Destroyer, Fame Plane, Eladrin, Power Paladin, Detenchi, and Disco Dino. I'm going to follow Disco Dino here, and looks like he's got Lauren in his sights, trying to slow down that Y-Wing farm. Doom, what are you seeing?
Yeah, I looked at Lauren. They almost took a
Dunk has hit
dumbfire.
Lauren.
But yeah, they didn't launch the dumbfire. Wow, what a flip. Yeah, they lined it up, and as soon as they got in range, they were done. I think we're going to get a fast flip here. There's still a lot of TIE fighters on the field.
Yep.
Should be easy pickings, but yeah, losing the flip is big.
Right. Disco Dino taking some heat. Looks like his ion torpedo got shot down, Doom. He was taking some heat from behind. He got his ion missile off, and yeah, and he's got Sagan right on his booty. He's down to
Dino's
9% on the hull. Oh, Disco Dino, the god, as Luma calls him, in big trouble. He's down to 7 on the hull. Ion torpedo did not hit, but he got a resupply. So Detenchi in here establishing the very pretty TIE bomber slide orbits here, working on the turrets. I don't think they're going to be able to get it out of phasable here, though, Doom.
No. I mean, it again, fast farm. Almost, maybe not quite as fast as I might have thought. I thought people had stuff lined up right out of the gate, but there was some dunks, there was some PK pressure that disrupted it. But yeah, not enough to get the out of phase. They're definitely going to have to hope for a double.
Right. Sagan's in big trouble here. Looks like he got dunked at some point. I'm not sure who's on him, but he is just regenerating his shields here.
Disco is returning the favor. Disco is all over Sagan, just now pulling off. Moving on to the Corvette.
Yeah, I see that. So you saw that he got that dunk off on Lauren, and then they won the flip. So you just need some brief PK pressure to be effective here on Yavin. Power Paladin on the back of Quintessence, slowing her down, not letting her get that damage in. And pretty good damage mitigation here from Baywatch, although I don't see many. Yeah, I don't think any picks have come in so far in this game. In fact, let me check the scoreboard. Yeah, 0 picks, clean death sheet across the board so far. Yavin living up to its reputation as a heavy PvE map.
Yeah, I'm always find myself peeking at the bombers, seeing what they're doing. We're getting occasional pressure. That's really it.
Right. Now, looks like Baywatch also did not quite get that. Or I'm sorry, Savrip did not quite get that out of phasable. But Baywatch has a wide open Charlie Nebulon over here. Shields are still up on Delta, but they should be able to get Charlie in the out of phase range pretty comfortably here. Detenchi, pretty underrated bomber, wouldn't you say, Doom? Doing some really nice orbits here again at point blank range. Look at this, just perfect lateral orbits around this Nebulon.
And I think what you want as a bomber duo is one person to really focus on the turrets. And if you've got this level of orbit down, then you can focus on that and not have to worry about setting up to clear left or right or bottom or top. Just get in max damage from lasers.
Right. Elgin has switched over to Delta. Delta's at about 85 on the hull. Elgin pumping into it with his rotary cannons. He is out of Goliath missiles, but he's got some more multi-locks to give. There's the flip, though. Let's see if he can set up for this farm. He's down to 40 on the hull. I wonder if Savrip will go for that pick. I don't know if that's low enough.
Detenchi just kind of bouncing around, but...
Oh, Sagan went down at some point. I missed that. He must have got picked right at the flip. And here's Power Paladin on the back of Thanatos trying to mitigate that X-Wing damage. I mean, it is rough life for the NR right now in this current state of the game, where you got TIE defenders, TIE fighters. I mean, they can just take down your shields instantly, and that's the majority of the New Republic fighters' health pool. And it's really hard for these X-Wings to patch back.
Y-Wing on Reaper violence here.
You don't see that every day.
Taking a chunk out of each other and then moving on to more important things. But yeah, it was a fun joust there.
All right, Raiders just about to flip here. Elogen has turned his attention to it with the rotary cannon. Looks like Savrip got one out of phaseable. Yeah, but they got the other one to half, so that's not terrible. It's tough to get a lot of damage in, and it looks like this is a pretty even game, Doom. It's tough to get that damage in as much as you would like on this map because the farm is just that quick. So it looks like Baywatch left that Nebulon up, and they have a interesting choice here. They could set up for a double out of phase or just use this as morale sponge to push in. Looks like Elogen, yeah, pushing through. Charlie is just knocked down. Now they're turning to attention to Delta. Delta's at about half. I'm betting they're going to try to push in here, Doom, to take a shield gen.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, honestly, it's the transition time that's going to kill them. They have to make the call right about now about what they're going to do. Their Corvette is still up, I believe. Can't see it right now, but I think we're going to see them go in.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, the Raiders still up. I think they're going to go in and grab a gen here. Yeah, there you go. So a little bit over 50% morale. As soon as that Raider drops, it's going to disappear from them. But it doesn't take long to reach those all-important shield gens. One ion missile into left. I don't think the beacon's made it.
Yep,
let's watch Fame playing here.
And Elogen lining up on that other gen.
Elogen goes down, though. Big pick. Looks like Disco Dino took out the power system with his patented sloop. One shield gen down. I'd say they did their job. That's 2 subsystems destroyed on the MC-75.
And that's a juicy set of weak points up top. You've got 3 all on the top. Power Paladin goes down in the transition.
Oh yeah, that's 2 key members down. Looks like Fame Plane's just launching out of the hangar now. Now Savrip, they have enough morale here to make a strong push on the ISD. So if they play their cards right, they could have this game, Doom. Power Paladin went down a little bit ago, so there's no PK pressure at all. Disco Dino is working on Thanatos, so I guess there is some PK pressure, but not as much without the defender out there. Here comes Savrip on the ISD. I'm going to switch to Hail Sagan.
This is a messy attack here. I mean, this is not a morale bar that makes you feel great about this.
No, and again, tough situation for the New Republic and on this map. Proton Torp and Ion Missile out on that gen. Left shield gen is disabled. Visual right is still intact. Oh, look at Fame Plane up there playing goalie on the shield gen.
Yeah.
And Sagan angrily chasing him away from the shield gen. You gotta love that. Lauren popping weak points. Star Destroyer, I can't tell what the health is because I don't have the. Yeah, it's at 62.
62.
And
there's another set of weak points at the bottom. This might be base race here.
I think it's looking that way. It's down to 40. Quinn is working on the out of phase turrets. Baywatch has to hurry here and get that flip. Here it is. It's down 30. I think we got a base race here, folks. Oh my goodness. Lauren just went down, though.
The last weak point on the ISD.
Oh, Sagan just went down, though. Bad time for the death. Not that there's a good time for a death. Torpedo's going out from Thanatos, wisely switching out of his patented plasma burst, but takes a death there from the ISD. Star Destroyer is still at 20%. Quintessence still in the back here. Do we have anyone back here defending? Yes.
There's not a lot of people over here at the MC-75. I'm looking at it, and there are 4 weak points all on the top. Very gettable. This MC will absolutely collapse if they can get a couple people over here.
Let's see, though.
Yeah.
What's this Star Destroyer at? Sagan shooting down to resupply. Shields back up on the ISD. It's at 20%.
The MC-75, there's 2 bombers over here just laying into it.
Oh, well, you got to say, that was pretty strong push from Savrip there. That's a heck of an effort. They made Baywatch sweat a lot. And I'm sure Baywatch would have liked to clean her.
ISD at 8.
8. Wow. You got to say, that was a really strong NR game, like I just said, for Savrip.
Well, losing the coin flip, but then making it that close, that's not easy. It's easy to get rolled. on some maps. Maybe Yavin a little bit less than others, but
Right.
it can snowball pretty quickly.
All right, looking at the scoreboard here, we got Elgin leading the way for Baywatch with 89k cap. Detenchi contributing another 102 cap ship damage. Power Paladin with 5 kills and 29k, actually almost 30k. Disco Dino contributing 2 kills and 41k. So pretty good PK spread there from Baywatch as well as a damage spread, and some pretty strong NR play there. Um, I hate to be this guy, and I do it for our team, but like I saw some pretty unfortunate deaths there on the out of phase attempt for Savrip, and a few more X-wings staying alive. I think two X-wings or two of their players just died in quick succession, and Thanatos died after popping off some torps from the front and just flew a little bit too close to the sun from the front of the ISD and got popped. You got to think if maybe two of those players had lived, they would have had a chance at closing that ISD, because you said it was down to 8%.
It was down to 8. That's right.
So that was the difference.
I think we saw, especially at the end there, we saw folks selling out. Right, there were people at point engaging that Star Destroyer at point blank range, and I think that they may have sold out a bit early, but it's so hard to estimate that. We all know how fast the MC-75 can go down.
Yeah, right. You are. Really impressive stuff from both teams. Let's see here.
We've got the server up on Lauren.
Yep. And it looks like Savrip very wisely opting to take Empire for Team 3. Big shocker there. So, Doom, do you think we're looking at another set of 3 straight Empire wins as we witnessed and experienced last night?
I mean, it's hard to bet on anything but. Yeah, I honestly, yes. I think that we, unless we see something different from the damage race, I mean, we're seeing Empire farmers just get in the loops and get in those orbits and really not be molested, not be bothered while they're in there. So maybe we need to see something more disruptive on some of those really strategies that require not being touched. But I don't know, unless we see a different PK dynamic, I can't imagine that NR is going to have the advantage.
So I wanted to point out something again from game 1. Xerath in that pancake took 0 deaths. So I think if you need to look at an adjustment for Baywatch, I'd say that's got to be the number one adjustment. Take out that pancake, prevent those marks. If the pancake gets those marks in, it's a tough sledding defense for NR. I am seeing a bit of a lineup change from game 1 for Baywatch, and that's Power Paladin staying in as one of the flexes in place of Beach 89. No, Beach is a very, very solid all-around player, but I know him for his many seasons of OBJ play. Power Paladin is a natural flex, so we'll see if that gives him a little bit more of a PK dynamic. And I'm going to let the teams know that we're good.
Yep,
Looks like you already did. Thank you.
Yep.
In Doom, we got the best thing possible in the Squadrons broadcast. We got a Game 3.
That's right. Look, I mean, I think that's one of the things that we're seeing in the modifiers, as well as people. I know we're talking giving a lot of stuff about Empire being, having some advantages here, but I mean, I think that it's almost offense defense almost asymmetrical at this point. We're seeing so many Empire wins. The key is really who can win as NR. So I mean, game 3, I don't want to take anything for granted, but it's something that we're seeing more and more, and it's more squadrons. So I think that's a great thing.
I will say that, who can take that underdog NR win? That's very on brand for the former Rebel Alliance, right? The underdogs taking the occasional victory from the mighty Empire. It's not great for game balance, but it does feel true to canon.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
You're not talking about line loadouts. I'm taking a couple peeks here. Maybe
Go
once
ahead.
we get in game.
How many B-Wings are we going to see, Doom?
I think the answer is going to be 0.
Well, that's
can't
no
imagine
fun.
We see a B-Wing. I was hoping maybe for a triple bomber at some point, but I don't think we're going to see that with this lineup either.
I don't think so either. And you know what? Going back to this, the fact that this is a Game 3, this is super exciting stuff, and this is why I say phooey to best of 2. That's just not exciting. Who likes a tie? This is America. We lead winners. All right, flying out of the MC-75 from hyperspace, Hey Zeus, Power Paladin, Fame Plane, Disco Dino, and Tatenchi for the New Republic Baywatch. All right, and flying out of the Imperial Star Destroyer, Thanatos, Hail Sagan, Quintessence, Zareth, and Lauren. Lauren lining up a nice V formation of X-Wings, taking a little bit of laser fire there, getting a Goliath off, and a clean pack takeout by Lauren. Very well executed, but some morale coming right back in for the New Republic.
Paladin bit hard on Zareth and could not close the kill, not running any conks, and
Not running conks, what an animal.
got iced themselves.
Looks like Thanatos went down at some point. I'm not sure how that happened. Power Paladin looks to be running standard lasers, though, so if you're not going to run conks and you want a PK as NR, you got to run standard lasers on that X-Wing, I think. All right, so Power Paladin now turning the attention on Zareth, and this morale bar meter is...
Again.
Oh, but Power Paladin taking a dunk!
Again. All right, so we got to... So Sagan looks to be very responsive to Zareth getting under fire, and he has twice now closed on Power Paladin as soon as Zareth is in
But
trouble.
not close that kill. Power Paladin getting the pocket from Jesus, and Baywatch taking this flip as NR. Let's see if they can capitalize here, Doom. Shields are still up. I don't think that Ion Torp landed. I see that the tube is empty for Disco Dino's Ion Torp, but I don't think it landed. So pretty good job by Savrip jamming that Ion Torp, probably using countermeasures or even shooting it down. Shields just now coming down on Charlie. Looks like Disco Dino is turning his attention to Thanatos, which is interesting. You don't see that every day.
Power Paladin is both not running conks and just resupplied at a frigate. So, that Rain, you can send your letters to the team.
Resupplying at a frigate. What kind of barbarism is this? I'm sorry, not to judge. Looks like they're just opting to do a little bit of disruption. I think the play here, Doom, is that they know that getting Charlie out of phase was going to be a tall task, and they want to prepare for a strong defense, and they have done just that by giving a lot of pressure ahead of the flip to Zareth. Zareth running for his life, but Power Paladin taking an unfortunate bonk into the light cruiser, but he's okay. He's at 70% on the hull. Zareth is just doing spirals and drifts and just trying to fight for his life in his zone. He's dunked again. He's down to 20 on the hull. 15, and there he goes. Huge pick. Wow. What an effort by Power Paladin.
I mean, he's been looking for that kill all game.
And his diligence paid off, right?
Sagan was not there to bail out Zareth that time.
And I said right before the game, that was the adjustment they needed to make. That pancake needed to die, and we got a dead pancake here, folks. So Savrip has their work cut out from Shields just now coming down on Delta. Sagan taking some pressure, dumping an ion into the weak side frigate. Quintessence establishing her orbits, pumping in the rotary cannon. A lot of urgency in these orbits here. They know they are behind in this game, and they know they got to make it up here.
Lauren is in trouble, trying to see who is on.
But Zareth back out and bails her out to resupply. But Zareth getting dunked here again. They heard my call to take out that pancake, and Zareth goes down again.
Wow, we're gonna end this phase with A about half, and B with half a shield still up.
From my point of view, it is Charlie that is almost dead. Fame Plane here.
That's right. We're looking at different sides.
Fame Plane resupplying under his own frigate. What is this? Oh, Fame. Get your booty in zone. That would not fly on my team, as you know. Alright, Jesus making his way over. Or, looks like he's lining up Detenchi for a resupply. Detenchi looks to be taking some fire. Let's see who's on him. Hail Sagan now working on Disco Dino, trying to stall the X-Wing from getting too much damage in. I'm going to switch over to Disco Dino's perspective. He knows he's under pressure, but he does not care. He knows his Plasburst orbits are evasive inherently.
Yep, Sagan just gave
taking
up
a bunk.
on Disco Dino and went on to the Corvette.
Disco Dino getting bailed out with the resupply there. Took an unfortunate bonk, so I guess that pressure did pay off. Let's see Power Paladin do some work here. Proton Torpedo going off from the minimum distance. Nice release point there from Power Paladin. Getting a resupply, so he is now full again on his torpedoes. Doing a little bit of offensive PK on Thanatos. He's beaconed. He's got him lined up.
Support violence here. Jesus on Zareth.
You know, for all that talk we did about PvE, a lot of PK in this game, Doom.
Yep. All right, so now Jesus goes from being the hunter to the hunted, scratch that, reverse it, trying to get in and put the marks on the frigate.
Yep, and there's one out of phase coming in for Baywatch. I think the other one was pretty low. I wasn't sure if the other one was an out of phase territory, but I don't think they need it here. Oh, wow. Look at that morale come in for Baywatch. Savrip in a lot of trouble here, you got to think. Beacon's going off from Zareth. But I also notice he's out of resupply. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm misreading that totally. Looks like he's resupplying under his own cruiser because he is out of resupplies. Going to switch to someone who's actually in the offensive zone doing stuff. Nebulon on the Delta side is down to 3. Looks like they're opting to destroy it? Oh, no. Okay. I'm sorry. I just misread that again. Okay, so it looks like they're working on Charlie. I just got confused because Lauren had the other one targeted.
There's the flip. I'm spending a lot of time watching the supports on. I'm spending a lot of time watching the supports on this game. I think that's really where we're seeing the differences this go around.
Mm-hmm. Making his way to the ISD to get in strong position. Up, turning back to give a little bit of love to that cruiser. Wow, look at that morale come in for Savrip. Oh my goodness. I thought they were going to have almost a full morale bar attack on this Star Destroyer. Hell of a defense from Savrip here. How did that happen, Doom? I didn't see how that all in morale came in.
I think it was just a couple of packs, but I didn't see it either.
Wow. There goes the power system, but I don't think the shield gens are coming down on this attack. And Baywatch has got to be careful there. If they overbite, you know, they're going to be in poor position for that defense. Let's see what Zareth is doing. If I'm Zareth, yeah, Zareth creeping his way up toward that MC-75. Power Paladin looks like he went down. Did they take a shield gen here yet, Doom? Doesn't look like it. And there's the flip. Let's watch Zareth creeping his way up.
She is out of bounds. Dead.
Okay, so Zareth already in strong position. Looks like he's got to get his marks off any second now.
If he chooses.
Right. He might. Oh, he got dunked there. Oh my goodness. Can Zareth escape? No, he cannot. Wow, what some great PK action we're seeing this game, Doom. Now, Power Paladin turning his attention to the Raider, lining up a Torp in a second here. He's going to let that fly any second. Kaboom. But here comes Savrip in on the MC-75. Can they get the one phase here on Yavin, Doom?
We're seeing Disco do work on the Raider here. I think this will go down momentarily. There it is. This could be a pretty fast flip on the other side as well.
I'd say so.
Has tacks lined up. All onesie twosies so far. I think Fame Plane is going to have a pack here, but not enough to flip it imminently.
Looks like Hail Sagan is already making his way back. Disco Dino cheating ahead up toward the ISD. Sagan chasing him down, picking up on that.
And goes down, and that is it. That is the flip.
you gotta love how the next phase is starting before the current phase is over. Sagan chasing down Disco Dino, who's already on top of the ISD, trying not to give Disco Dino
Paladin
any
dogs,
breathing
Power
room.
Paladin in trouble.
Ooh, who's on him? Looks like Thanatos. Let's watch some Thanatos action.
With the Plasma Burst, you only need to hit once.
Oh no! Thanatos going down. Not sure how that happened. What's it been, a collision? Not sure.
He flips the corner.
Oh, this is quite the chaotic sequence here. Baywatch still does not have the shields down. Could Savrip pull this out of the Fire Doom? Shields still not down on the ISD. I don't think any Ions made it. Disco Dino going down at some point. What utter chaos.
Paladin is, I mean, we are seeing a lot of high impacts in this game.
I don't even know what's happening, Doom. I'm confused. I'm excited. Savrip is going back in on the MC75. What a comeback by Savrip here. Now, this MC75 has one shield gen. They just need to knock down that shield gen and rip into the hall.
Check out Paladin. He was coming in at 13. He's since been resupplied, but just chasing Zareth like a man possessed.
Ooh, Zareth dunked again. Can they farm this quick enough? Power goes down. Nope, Zareth alive, bouncing around, getting his Scrambler shields back up. Quintessence is going to do her damnedest to go to town here. Weak points still available. MC75 down to 30% on the hall. Baywatch needs to flip this immediately. Another weak spot found. 12 on the hall. Can Savrip pull this out? 10 on the hall. I think they got this, Doom.
I think so. We've got the flip, but it may be too late.
Quinn dunked here. Sagan on top of it. MC75 goes down, and the series goes to Savrip. What a Game 3 comeback!
Awesome. Great to see.
Oh my god. I mean, confused. I'm excited. I didn't see how this flips happened, but I just know that was exciting stuff, Doom.
That's another Empire win, but did not look like the first two games. Look at these cap ship numbers.
Wow. Twinsies in the 6 digits here. Quintessence, 102 cap ship damage. Lauren, 107 cap ship damage. Lorne with the Mega Chad numbers here. Hail Sagan, 63k. Thanatos, 40k. Wow. What an even game. How many phases were there? Was that 2 phases on each of the flagships?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they all blended together, as you said, but I mean, you may call Lauren the Mega Chad cap damage, but look at those AI kills. 63 for Quinn. We had almost 100 on both sides. What a game.
It's almost as if each bomber was doing something important. One was farming and one was burning raiders.
Look at that. As a farmer, I tend to pay attention to them a little bit more. So wanted to make sure everyone got the credit there.
Absolutely. I mean, no credit taken away from Quintessence. I'm just impressed by big numbers. What can I say? But to your point, I was ignoring the big number, which was the huge AI farm by Quintessence. They make quite the formidable bomber pair. You gotta love it. And it looks like we already got a post-game interviewer here in Mr. Fameplane.
Hey guys, thanks for casting today's match.
Oh, you're welcome, Fame. You're in here awful quick. Do you already have thoughts about that series?
I mean, it was 2 really good teams playing really good games. I mean, I don't think either team. I think it's fair to say that neither team lost the match. The other team just won their games, and that's what you love to see. It. That's peak Squadrons, in my opinion.
Walk me through that game 3. By my count, each team had 2 phases on the other team's flagships. I had a hard time following the action. I think I just missed key picks. I was following the wrong persons. But what was going on there from your perspective?
So on our first ISD attack, we went in with half morale, and our goal was to try to kill one gen. But their Thanatos and Sagan did a good job pressuring us. So we didn't get much done. We decided to fall back and try to do a good defense, which I think we did. But then on our second in preparation for our second offense, they started pressuring our flexes, which, as a flex, that's our main source of ion. And by the time the phase flipped, our flexes were just flying full evasive, couldn't get much done. And combine that with Lauren and Quinn farming as well as they usually do, that's GG's there.
Right. They make quite the tandem there. You guys almost pulled off the NR win. I think it was at game. No, this isn't that game 3. I'm sorry. That game 2 was on. Yeah, I'm thinking of Savrip in game 2. So that was pretty much a nail biter. I believe the ISD, your ISD, was down to 8%. What were your thoughts coming out of that one?
Well, we knew we had to one phase it, and we knew they were going to try to oop. So we had a couple of, I think, Pally and or Disco were defending. Thankfully, our shield came up in the nick of time, so it slowed their oop just enough, and we got a couple of key picks, which allowed us to force a game 3.
Yeah, we saw the Reaper go down on that game 3 a little bit more than we had seen in the others. Was that something that you felt as well? Was that something that you did? How often? It's not every day that you see something and you're able to pick up on it in game. Was that something you were able to kind of pick up on? And if so, did you adjust?
Well, in game 1, we thought there might have been a couple of chances where we could have picked Xerath and the Reaper. Xerath's a heck of a pilot, but Pancake on Gavin is a pretty sad combination. So we took a little bit more focus on trying to pick him, but they still managed to get the dub. So props to his teammates for picking it up, even if Xerath went down.
Yeah, I'll say it was persistence from Power Paladin to I think he dunked Xerath, probably 4 times before closing the first kill, and then was able to get it a few more times. There was some I could respect the persistence with sticking with it. It's one of those things where in the previous game we probably see that attack get called off after the first 2 dunks, right? But it seemed to be a focal point of game 3.
Props to Xerath for making us have to earn that. If it's an instant kill, that's a good use of time. But if you're a Reaper pilot and you can extend the time to kill, that's more time in face. So, yeah, they played really, really well. And I know they've been working really hard all season, and it's awesome to see good teams go at it, right?
I agree. I mean, I think what you said earlier, Fame, about how this was about it wasn't one team being worse than the other. I mean, it's both teams giving each other blow after blow. I mean, that was such a back and forth game 3, especially. Really could have went either way. To Pally's credit, though, he was chasing Xerath around ahead of the phase, which I thought was a pretty wise play, and ultimately prevented him from getting out the marks. And if you're going to spend a lot of time on a target as NR, I think the Reaper is the correct call. I do have one more question for you, at least, though. So, were there any special strat considerations for your opponent?
No, it's standard 2-2-1. No, this.
So, in other words, it sounds like it was more about just executing your game plan rather than worrying about what they were doing.
Just be evasive when you're under pressure and have your packs lined up. Squadrons 1-on-1.
Right. Without giving too much away, what was driving the lineup changes?
Just we each had to go to work tomorrow morning.
All right, that's how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
That's the best reason to make a change. Any closing thoughts here, Fame?
No, I just love flying with these guys, and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we just played Savrip last night, and I think both teams feel the same way. We love going toe to toe to them. They're a good bunch of folks over there.
For sure.
And always really close, even games. You never get walked all over by Savrip, and you never walk all over them. It's always a punch in the mouth, and you give them a punch in the mouth right back.
For sure.
All right, Fame. Well, thanks for giving us a hell of a series there, and we'll see you out there.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night.
All right. Take care.
Yeah, what a game. Thanks.
All right. Let's see who's ready from Savrip.
Now we go from the largest SCL Elite roster to the smallest with Savrip.
I do want to give Fame Plant just a shout out just for his SCL staffing duties, keeping us folks, the inmates that are the SCL players, in line, making sure that we're on time for matches, doing all the logistics to make sure that almost every match is casted. Unfortunately, our match last night didn't end up getting casted, but it wasn't for a lack of effort from Fame Plane. So shout out to Fame for all his efforts for keeping this thing going. Almost 2 years later now. And so in the interview channel, we got Quintessence and Hale Sagan from the victorious Savrip Squadron. Hello, folks.
Yeehaw. What's up, buddy?
Hey, long time no see, eh?
Yeah, right?
So another set of games. This is, something I was trying to put in your guys' ear. Another Empire split. Our 3 games last night, all 3 games went to the Empire. Tonight, all 3 games went to the Empire.
It's
Any
true.
thoughts?
It's kind of undeniable. Even with these mods, they're just beefy. They're beefy.
What would you say is behind that, if you had to theorize? And then we'll go right to the game.
Oh God, I don't know, because look, we know this game revolves around who you can kill and who you don't want to waste time on, and one of those people you can kill is a Reaper. So with the Reaper not getting in to a lot of these offenses, why is Empire still crushing damage compared to NR with marks?
Well, I have the answer to that question right there. It's the TIE Bomber rotary. TIE bombers in general.
Yeah.
The mods have not changed the fact that TIE Bomber still has an obscene damage output and can just rip things apart if you give them enough time.
And can survive multiple dunks.
We're back in the 1.0 days.
Right.
TIE Bomber all day, every day.
I feel like the discrepancies with Empire not having as high of a win. What was it in Challenger last season? Like NR had something like a 60% win rate.
It was something like that, but it was pretty.
It was something wild.
For the whole league, it was 50-50 last season.
I feel like this last season, because it was the first one with the mods, I feel like that might have just been like an adjustment period.
Yep.
And now that people have gotten accustomed to the flow of the game on these modifiers, and people are getting more comfortable with it, we're seeing Empire once again kind of rising to dominance. That's how I see it.
In my theory, depends. My bias as a flex player, I think it's about the TIE Defender and the Empire speed. So Pancakes, yes, they're easier targets, especially because they have a little bit less hull. They're big and fat, but the Defender has the luxury of going into peel, partially because the TIE Bomber has such a strong damage output. But the TIE Defender can spend some time peeling for the Reaper and still hightail it over to the Nebulon to pump in damage. And X-Wing doesn't have that luxury because it's about, 60 km per minute per hour faster? I think the top boost speed is like 260. So the TIE Defender can just scoot across the map and do a lot of things all at once in the same phase. Is my theory.
I'll further your point, Rain. I think a lot of it comes down to gen dunking. The Defender is going to be hard pressed to miss that dunk. They're fast. They're going to be the first one into the MC. Even without marks, you can double up on a gen. It's going to happen almost every single time. As opposed to NR, as we've seen these games from last night and today, those X-Wings get hard focused when they're going into that ISD. And if they don't get their gens, that's game. Like that's how we took that last round off Baywatch, was we split X-Wing and we just kept them off of their gens.
Long way to the back of the ISD for those gens. And that's a lot of time for the TIE Defenders to apply pressure. So back to the game. So first of all, congratulations on a big 2-1 win. I think that keeps you guys alive in the playoff picture, right?
Ooh, I don't know. I hope so.
If it does, that'd be very spicy. I actually don't know.
Yeah, you guys have.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, you guys have done an excellent job all season long of grinding out points. I'm sure there's some matches where you would have liked the W, but I believe you've earned points out of every single match. Is that correct?
Yeah, we haven't been
To my
too,
memory, yes, we
yet.
have not been 2-0'd yet this season.
Right, and every
Yep.
standings point is very important. So, what were your thoughts coming into this match against Baywatch?
Well, we came in thinking, after what happened last night, it'd be really awesome to get the 2-0, but if not, at least come out with the win. Because we came out of yesterday we played really tight, but we still, something happened, and I feel like that we really needed just the morale boost from a win like this. So this was pretty huge, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. So, was this the first time you guys have beaten Baywatch in an SCL match?
I was actually just asking that internally, was this the first time we've beaten Baywatch in an SCL set? We've taken games off of Baywatch in scrims and in ladder matches before, but I think this is the first time we've beaten them, in SCL, which it is. Hey, that's pretty awesome.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only time I can remember taking games off of them in SCL was in the playoffs last season.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was a 5-game series, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was really entertaining to watch. So, between the teams, as I said, there was all Empire wins. What was your guys' thoughts in your NR game? What were you thinking going in, saying how can we squeak out this NR win?
I don't know. What do you think, Quinn?
Honestly, just go in there and play our best possible game. Make sure that the bombers are evasive. Make sure that flex calls are on point. Just make sure everything across the board is incredibly tight, because with NR, the margin of error is just so much smaller. In fact, I'd say the margin for error on NR, especially in Elite, is non-existent. You need to bring your A game, and you cannot make mistakes. Because if you, hesitate or give the Empire, an inch, they will take the game.
Yeah, we were talking.
I guess that was my mindset going in. I'm like, okay, I need to be tight. I need to make sure my farm's on point. I need to not read for packs. I need to just farm out of my mind and play as cracked as I can.
Which
Something
you
that-
usually do. So
Right,
Doom
and,
correctly called out and highlighted your massive farm numbers in that game 3. What did you have? What was it, Doom? 60 something?
Yeah, it was in the 60s.
Outrageous.
Right. And then I was calling out Lauren's Omega Chad capship numbers, which you have 158.
Broke 150. Holy cow.
Sick. I mean, I know some of that is Raider, but that is still sick. You guys are quite the formidable pair back there on the farm for Savrip. So, game 3, I have to admit, I had a lot of trouble just following what was going on. There was a lot more PK than there was in game 1. I believe there were 2 phases on each of the flagships for the respective teams. It was a real ping pong affair. So, what were the comms like? What was the feeling, in the cockpits there as that was happening and unfolding?
I would say that, when the game seems to last longer than you think it should, stress starts building. There's those moments of, okay, I would have thought that we would have lost this by now, and yet we're still in this fight, so we got to keep pushing it. I was able to, we were still communicating well, me and Than, in splitting our attention onto 2 separate X-Wing for those attacks. And I didn't think I'd expect them to be as evasive as they were instead of going in for their job. So I wasn't going to give up on it. There was moments I went, shoot, shouldn't I be going for Raider? But Xerath called, nope, let's handle that. You just stay on those flexes, and it stopped them from even getting their gens back down that second offense.
Yeah, we more or less so rewinding back a phase, going into that MC offense, the first one. I believe at that point Xerath was down or just not available. I was at about half hull with almost no ordnance. was like, okay, Raider's still up. Last MDEB is about to go down. We need to just get something out of this. So we move in. We had the Flexes focus one gen for dunking, and then we get the bombers on the other gen. We managed to take one generator, like completely kill it, if I recall correctly. Managed to get out. And at that point, I was in the perfect position to get the farm going, and that's what really like kickstarted our that defense. In the meanwhile, of course, the Flexes were making sure the X's could not do their job, and they did that quite well.
Yeah, we saw some. There was a defender, and I don't remember who it was that was, almost running up the tailpipe of one of the X-Wings on the way in. They're doing some great disruption work.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, we've definitely felt it in scrims when you guys split the pressure, and they're like, someone's on me, wait, how are they on both of us? Oh my god, what's happening? It definitely creates a little bit of panic over the comms as well, and then the U-Wing has to choose who lives and who dies, right, in that moment.
Yeah.
That's right. We saw that in one of the openers here as well. I think we saw a lot of dunks, and only maybe 50% of them were even like attempted to follow up on, right? You get the dunk, and if you know that you don't have two sets of guns on, the dunky, then, move on to the next thing. You've already caused the disruption.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely right.
So, any more thoughts on this? I mean, I got to say, from a caster's perspective, this was really, really entertaining stuff. So any last thoughts on that incredible series?
GG's to Baywatch.
Big GG's.
They are, every team in Elite Division keeps us on our toes. But Baywatch, especially for me, was kind of like my white whale, because like I was never able to take games off them in an SCL setting, or I should say we, because I am not Savrip. And also, fun fact, Baywatch was the team that knocked Savrip out of the Cal Cup finals, so that's always been hanging around the back of my head since that happened.
Quinn does not forget.
So as much as I adore pretty much everybody on Baywatch, I am glad that we took the win here. But they played very well. They made us work for it, like hardcore.
Definitely. I didn't see the final game clock there, but yeah, that was a long affair in Game 3. Doom, you're gonna say something?
Yeah, just to wrap up here, I just want to point out that Randalorians are in third place with 10 points, and Savrip right behind with 9 points. So Randos and Savrip 3 and 4, 10 and 9.
And you guys still have 2 matches left or 1 match left?
Which one? Got Alu.
Aluminium. Okay,
Aluminium
so
on the Dockyards of Pain.
all right. So since I have you all, do you want to help us warm up versus Storm Chasers on Thursday?
I will be available for that for sure.
That would be in your interest, so to help us put them down to keep them out of the playoff picture.
You're right. Yeah, I'll help
When
you.
you put it to that way to me, you know what?
I have
Yeah.
I have obviously taken off my objective caster's hat for that comment in the question. But thank you both for putting on a hell of a show. Always a pleasure watching you guys, playing along you guys, fighting you guys. Always a pleasure just to hang around you guys. Take care and have a good one.
Thanks, my
We'll
dude.
see you
Same.
out there.
Thanks.
Have a good night. Thanks for casting.
Yes, thank you.
All right, Doom. I mean, I'm still sweating from that match, and I wasn't even in it.
I mean, it's great, I think, to have 2 casters where we can be looking at 2 different things, but we probably needed 4 sets of eyes to follow everything that was happening there.
Right. I was like, wait, it was a fast-paced game when we're both like, wait, how did that morale bar meter disappear from them? Doom, I thought
we did not pick the easiest map to do my debut here. I'll just say there were some fast flips and quick kills, and that's what you get with Yavin.
Yep. And I have to say, Doom. So I'm new to this, so take it with a grain of salt. But I thought you did a very fine job in the color commentator role, and I do appreciate not having to do all the talking because my mouth runs dry after a while.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, give some love to Doom here in the chat, folks. Let's give some love to Doom. And I gave some love to Fame Plane out there, Baywatch pilot and SCL staff, but I really want to thank all the SCL staff for keeping this thing going. I never thought that I'd be playing this game competitively for this long. We're almost 2 years out from the launch date. Everyone says it's a dead game, but this competitive community is what's keeping this thing alive. So really big thanks to SCL. We're almost at the end of Season 6, which is hard to believe. I think we joined... When did we join? Season 3? So we're almost wrapping up our 4th season of SCL. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and honestly, look, the teams that are in it now, I don't want to jinx it, I'm knocking on wood, right? But, I mean, you look back at X-Wing, TIE Fighter, what a following those games had, and how excited people were to get into Squadrons. And, if you would have asked me at the end of Cal Cup, like, what does the future hold, I'd probably be a little bit less sure then than I am now that, SCL is going to continue and be competitive for a while yet here still.
Right. We're almost a year out from the end of the Cal Cup, right? I think Cal Cup was October 2021, something like that. And remember when everyone's predicting, okay, after Cal Cup the game is gonna die. That's it for right. The competitive scene. And here we are almost a year later, and the competitive scene's still alive and well. You just love to see it. So that's going to wrap up our cast here, folks. I am too old and feeble to figure out how to raid somebody from OBS, so I'm just going to stop the stream. Thank you for tuning in for this SCL Elite match between Baywatch and Savrip. And again, Savrip coming out with a 2-1 victory over Baywatch, their first win over Baywatch in SCL, and keeping Savrip alive in the playoff hunt with those 2 points. Thanks, Doom, for casting with me, and take care, everyone.